Frank, would you come up here and answer your question?
The microphone.
Yeah,
Use the microphone.
by law, we're required to record these meetings, so.
I never have needed a microphone. What was the original cost of the consent decree?
The original estimate back in 2014 when the board was presented was $480 million.
That's what I thought.
That's correct. And that was the estimate at that time. And there was a lot of unknowns that we had. You know, you didn't know what the shorelines were in the grounds. You didn't have any cameras. You didn't have to do all manholes. So there was a lot of stuff that had to be done. But that was the estimate that was brought to the board when it was first to us.
Now, what can we use the virus funds that the city of Fort Smith has got? I know there's 5, water, sewer.
Are you talking about the coronavirus funds?
Yes.
That's something that there's been some, Treasury has been a piece of it, because I've been on a lot of calls with other cities about what we are allowed to do with that. And I think the final rule, if I'm right, Carl, did come to Treasury last week, is that correct?
Yes, the final rule did come from Treasury, and out of the $21.2 million that we have been given, the Treasury Department has said $10 million can be used and be considered by default lost revenue.
And so only $10 million of the $21 million could be used for lost revenue. The rest of it is restricted to certain things that the Treasury Department says we have to use for.
Okay.
It only took them 447 pages to say that.
But again, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's a drop in the bucket over the total cost of this whole thing.
It will help us.
Yeah, it will help. It will help, right?
I have noticed that 2 or 3 has brought up the suggestion that Fort Smith is growing. Our revenue, this has been a big year because of the virus. We got, was that state money or was this sales tax money that's coming in?
That's a very good question.
We got more on sales tax, a lot more than we ever dreamed. And we will get some money from the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas has $1,200 million to hand out to the cities and counties. So far, we haven't gotten a penny. And whenever it comes, we will use it carefully, and we will publicly disclose exactly how we're going to spend it. And honestly, we hope to get more. I mean, you know, they're finding that they didn't spend as much money, the government, the state didn't spend as much money as it thought it was going to on COVID. So I expect more, but we can't spend it till we get it. And, you know, we applied for it last fall, and we don't have a penny yet.
We may have to ask the mayor and our representatives to go back and get some Fort Smith, our part of the money. Thank you.
From a sales tax perspective, yeah, it has been a good year. We're up about 15%, I think. So that gets us to about maybe 23 million. And that 23 million goes and funds police and fire and some other things, parks and all those. But yeah, it has been a good year from a sales tax perspective.
Thank y'all. We did get some of this off of our chest.
Good, yeah, hey, that's what it's for. That's what we want it for.
And keep in mind, strong cities have liabilities. As home building has been amazing in this area, and you all know that. Construction, residential, commercial. But every time a new building goes in, some new utilities go in. Some new plumbing goes in. New materials, meters, all of these things are costly. And those become liabilities. That new street in that subdivision all of a sudden becomes a part of our responsibility to keep it. And it takes that. But it continues. And we must maintain competitive edge, or at least be competitive, when it comes to utility rates, water rates, and as this community grows, it continues to grow south. Bill, you know it, and many of you know, we're going to need a new fire station to cover that. We're going to need additional police to cover that. And we've got to be protective of the things that have attracted our businesses and manufacturers here. Those competitive rates in water and utilities, having a quality police department. There's no way around it. We are where we are. And I'm speaking on behalf of the citizens that I've been speaking to for the past 9 months about this thing. And they're telling me, man, I can't stand another big increase in my water rate. We don't want our manufacturers having to decide, can we stay in Fort Smith? Or do we have to consider somewhere else because of the cost of the utilities? We must do what's right by those that can't be here. That single mom, that extra $40 a month may not hurt some of us. Until that single mom got a couple of kids trying to make ends meet, and increasing that water bill to 58% is not right. We need all of our friends in Oklahoma and Greenwood and Van Buren to come and fill the jobs that we have. There's a big demand for work all over the place.
You're right.
I meet every Wednesday with my fellow mayors along the western side of the state. That's the mayors from Bentonville, Fayetteville, Rogers, Springdale, Siloam Springs, and Cave Springs. And we're talking about these things. How can we get people to come and fill these jobs? We're doing a good job of attracting the businesses, but we've got to get people coming here and fill these jobs. That means we've got to be competitive. We've got to do the things that are necessary. Sometimes they're not easy. But 3 years ago, people were saying, get us some new jobs, grow this company, grow this city. All of these numbers are up 20 at record pace. That means a record number of new water meters are having to be installed. A record number of new streets are being installed. We've got to take care of that. People are finding their way to Fort Smith, Arkansas. For all the right reasons. This place is going to transform in the next 10 years like you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
When that interstate bridge and all of that happens. And we need to be poised and prepared to take care of our end of this thing when we tell people this is the place to be. At this time,
Did everyone get a chance to speak, John?
I think everyone did. Everyone did. At this time, let me ask if any,
Joey wants to.
we're gonna let Joey speak again.